if your church is anything like mine, you've been using these for a long time during your candlelight services. They're really nice little candles. It's plenty big enough for an evening. In fact, we've been using these for several years, and they've barely burned off very much at all. But the problem with these is they usually don't come with any kind of holder to catch the wax, to protect your fingers. So we just made these little cardstock ones, cut a slit in them, and they'll fit right in there. And these work pretty good. They do catch a little bit of the wax, but even with these, there is a hole and the wax can seep down, get on your fingers, even drip down and get on the carpet and that kind of thing. So I recently bought these, and we'll see if this takes care of the problem. This is what they look like in the box. Here's what just one of these looks like. It's made of a nice hard plastic. It's gonna hold up just fine. The top part here is flexible, but it's also nice and hard. The stem here measures just under 2.5 inches, and the circumference of the top is just over 3 inches. And the hole there for the candle is about 5/8 of an inch in diameter. It's a nice bright white. Fits in my hand pretty well. If you have large hands, this might be a little tiny, but they're meant for these mini candlesticks, so it should be just the right size. There's no opening at the bottom, so all the wax will be contained inside of there. I do wonder, once these have been used a few times, whether there's gonna be a lot of wax built up down there, and if it's possible to even get that out. These might be a use them until you can't use them anymore kind of situation. But like I said, these candlesticks usually last a long time. So my candlestick here is just under 1/2 inch in diameter. It even says on the box it fits candlelight candles 1/2 inch in diameter. And it is almost 4 inches tall, and this is how it fits inside. Probably about 1/2 inch to 1 inch is actually in there, and it's in there pretty good. It's not going to go anywhere. If you look in here, there are 3 lines there that kind of stabilize it, and if you kind of wedge this in there, it's not going to easily fall out. So even upside down, it's not going to go anywhere. It's gripped in there really well. So we're going to light this thing and see how well it does at holding the wax. We're just going to let this burn for a while. See if we can speed up the process a little bit here. So as you can see there, the candle holder is definitely catching all that wax. I do wonder what it's going to look like after all this wax burns down. It's a very unlikely situation because we're not usually using these that long in one evening, but let's see if we can make that happen. Still containing all the wax very nicely. Just kind of gathers there around the edges around the candle. Let's keep on going. One thing that I want to point out, probably not necessary to point out, but I want to point out, is that these are definitely not meant to stand up on their own. They're meant for people to actually hold on to them like that. While the cylinder doesn't have any grippiness to it, it's certainly not difficult to hold. It's very light, and because of this lip around the edge, it just kind of rests in your hand very easily. So I've burned this down pretty low without any problems whatsoever. All the wax is contained inside of this candle holder. It's still really easy to hold. This part with the hot wax does get a little bit warm, but it's definitely not too hot and it's definitely not dangerous at all. So yeah, I'm really happy with this purchase. I think these will come in very handy for our candlelight services. Of course, the candles are not included. You'll have to supply your own candles. And after it's cooled just for a moment, you can certainly set it down and all that wax is still just contained inside there. Oh, I also want to see if they're reusable. So now that this is cooled down a little bit, I'm going to try to get this out. So I was able to pull out the remainder of the candle, and you can see that there is a hole in there. So yeah, if you can get the candle out, you can definitely reuse these. Might want to clean up that wax a little bit, or just leave it as is. Either way, they're definitely reusable. And yeah, I'm happy with this purchase. If you'd like to purchase it, there's a link in the description. We get a small commission, and it would really help us out. I'm Chris, and with my wife Abby's help, I'm on a quest to review literally everything sold on Amazon. So if there's something that you need a review of, literally just tell me. Let me know in a comment, and I'll literally buy it and just review it for you. Literally.
They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to do something that could make sense.